You're listening to the House of Pain on The Fan.
You know, everyone, there is a better way to deal with pain and injury, and you can find it at the ARP Wave Clinic. The ARP Wave Clinic works on the principle that joint problems, tears, sprains, fractures, or repetitive task injuries are caused by muscles not properly absorbing all the force. Let's explain that to you. The muscles of your body are driven and controlled by electricity, and when they're injured, you develop a type of a short circuit. ARP Wave locates the actual origin of that short circuit. It's often not where you think it would be, and then rapidly repairs it all. The ARP Clinic treats the most elite athletes in the world. Imagine what the clinic could do for you. And the results are guaranteed. That's right, guaranteed. You can eliminate your pain and improve your quality of life. There is a better way to deal with pain and injury. The ARP Wave Clinic. Go to KFAN.com, keyword pain, for more on ARP Wave or ARPWave.com.
The Fan.
Back here on the House of Pain on this Sunday morning on the Common Man Dan Cole. With me is ARP Wave founder Dennis Thompson. When we last, as we went to the break, I kind of teased what I wanted to talk about you about the system itself, the ARP Wave system. You talked about the different therapies that exist out there. What does the ARP Wave system do differently than all the other therapies?
Well, I think it boils down to we identify where the muscles failed to do their job correctly, and everybody else works on where the muscles failed. I think that's a very, very simple overview. I didn't tell you this story, Common, and I was kind of holding it back, and I just thought about it right now, and I'm going to tell you. My partner, Jay Schroeder, who's probably one of the strongest men in the world, and probably the most respected speed and strength coach, is a avid motorcycle rider. We were riding about a week ago, and he rides the Ducati 1098R, which probably goes 200 miles an hour. And the throttle cable stuck wide open, coming up an on-ramp. He hit 120 miles an hour in about 2 seconds' time. The front wheel went straight up in the air. He bounced the wheel 2 or 3 times and then bailed off of the bike. Now, that was on a Sunday afternoon. On Monday, he could not move his neck. He couldn't move his arm, couldn't move his shoulder, couldn't stand up. The pain was intense. And we began doing therapy on him right away, working on getting rid of the inflammation. And this is going to be exceptionally hard to believe, but on Wednesday, he came back to work, had full range of motion in his neck, full range of motion in his biceps, full range of motion in his arm. Could stand up, still was fatigued a little bit, couldn't lift weights for sure, and, would last probably about 3 or 4 hours. The difference between us and every other type of therapy is just that. It would take him hospital stay, it would take him physical therapy, and within weeks, sometimes even months, he still would not be where he was in 3 days. That is what we do.
Not only what you and your system did for my elbow, but I called you the one night and said, my neck is really stiff. And I thought, am I playing too much golf, or am I swinging wrong, or what am I doing? But it's like, if I'm going to do the old, I had like that weightlifter's neck, where when a guy wants to look next to me, he has to turn his whole body because right. I couldn't turn my head. And it wasn't because I had weightlifter's neck. Believe me, you had me take the electrodes from the ARP Wave system, and you had me put them onto a 5-minute, just 5 minutes, and I moved my head left, turned it right, up and down. And after the 5 minutes, it was considerably better. The next day, I was able to move my head perfectly up, down, back, and forth. I didn't have to do the old head twist, and it's been like that ever since. That's been weeks now.
And the reason for that is that if you don't move, you can't move. And if it hurts to move, you're not going to move. So what I did is I gave you a technique where it didn't hurt to move, so you moved, so you let the muscles do what they're supposed to do, and they'll do it. Your brain gets in the way and says, it hurts, don't move. And you're not going to move, and you're not going to get better.
The voice of Dennis Thompson. He's the founder of the ARP Wave Clinic, ARPP as in Paul, Wave. You can go to the website, arpwave.com. You can also listen to all the previous shows we've had. They're all on the website. All the shows to date on the clinic, right here on the website. And again, that number is 952-431-9708. We've talked a lot over the past 12 weeks about how you can prevent most joint replacement surgeries. You firmly believe that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about a special. I know you've had it ongoing here throughout the show. You still have it for our listeners, the same offer. What is that
Sure
offer?
do. Basically, because all of this sounds way too good to be true, we want to demonstrate to people that what we're saying is accurate and has validity. And to do that, we don't want them to have to spend a dime. You come into our clinic, we'll give you an evaluation, we'll give you your first treatment free, and after that first treatment, you then decide if we can help you or not. And I guarantee you'll know that we can help you. So we could talk until we're blue in the face, tell you stories about different players, tell you stories about different conditions, but until you actually feel it yourself, you're not going to really know. So our offer is come in. We'll treat you at absolutely no cost for the first treatment, and then you decide to come into our system or not.
When I was going to your clinic for the first 10 days, I went for 2 weeks, and then I went on the system for 33 days, the at-home, where it was just 10 minutes a night.
Right.
But I remember when I came in the one time, and I said, hey, by the way, I think I got arthritis in my big toe. You think you could help me there? Because I can't move this thing very well. And you go, well, yeah, I can work on that. And you hooked up the electrode, and you put it actually through you. It was almost like you were becoming one of those healers, like a Benny Hinn thing, because you had the electrical, the electrical system going through you, the wave system going through you, and you even said, "Put your foot in this water," and I'm like, "Wait a minute now!" But lo and behold, it's in the ball of my big toe, and all of a sudden, I was moving that toe better than I've ever moved that toe before.
And again, when your body is hurt, it protects, and it protects by having the muscles bunch up. We call it splinting. All we do is think of it as a red light, green light. When you're in protection, you're in red light. When you're not in protection, you're in green light. We take you from red light to green light immediately. And that's what you experience. All we did is get blood into that area. That's a technique that I created for the NFL, for turf toe. So many people and so many players have had to retire because of turf toe. My players and my clients don't have to retire for any injury, period.
I have some questions from the listeners. Let's get to a couple of them right now. Then we'll take a break. We'll come back with some more. Here was one question that was emailed to us. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Can your system help me?
Well, it can't do anything for the actual rheumatoid arthritis, but what it can do is dramatically change the quality of your life. Dr. Kahn and Jay, the gentleman I told you about earlier, and myself are writing a book on just this subject, because we've identified that for a arthritic patient, for someone who has arthritis, anytime they do any type of physical movement or exercise, it hurts. So what we've been able to do is create protocols with the ARP where we stimulate the muscle without the movement to the joint, and therefore there's no agony of exercise. Right now, most arthritic patients have to basically swim. That's the only way that they can exercise. That gets to be obviously a little bit cumbersome. So here, right in the privacy of their own home, we can exercise, increase their quality of life dramatically.
Well, and difficult too. Not everybody has access to a swimming pool in Minnesota. Last I checked, there's snow on the ground about 10 months out of the year, so it's hard to find a place to swim.
Very true.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's take another break. We have more questions to get to. And again, if you want more information, you can call 952-431-9708. That's 952-431-9708. Or go to arpwave.com. That's A-R-P, P as in Paul, arpwave.com. I get emails sometimes at the radio station. Did you say ARF? Did you say ARD? Sometimes I guess I don't enunciate clearly enough. A-R-P, P as in Paul, arpwave.com. I'm the common man, Dan Cole. That's Dennis Thompson, the founder of the ARPWave system. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with our final segment this Sunday on House of Pain here on the Fan.
You're listening to the House of Pain on the Fan.
There is a better way to deal with pain. The ARPWave Clinic. Your muscles are driven and controlled by electricity. When they're injured, you develop a type of short circuit. ARPWave locates the actual origin of that short circuit and then rapidly repairs it. The pros at ARPWave can explain how it all works more clearly, but all you need to know is that it works to eliminate pain. Go to KFAN.com, keyword pain, for more on ARPWave or ARPWave.com.